So, do you have a lot of family coming out to the game, I imagine?
Yeah, man. I'm out here scrambling for tickets, so we got quite a few family and friends coming. So,
do you know how many tickets you're gonna need?
Shoot, maybe around 25, 30. So if anybody reads this interview, they have to extra tickets. Send them my way.
So, I mean, this is your first time playing back in Colorado Springs, right?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't go when you redshirted, did you?
No. First time since my senior year in the playoffs.
Okay.
Last time I played in the spring, so
gotcha.
Been about 3 years.
Do they have the playoff games at Air Force or just?
No, this is just at my high school.
Gotcha.
Yep.
I know CSU is your guys' rival, but it seems like there's a little bit of that intensity with Air Force too. Is that what it feels like?
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I think since I've noticed it since I've been here for sure. I think it's kind of grown as a rivalry a little bit. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because we got a lot of Colorado guys on the roster or something like that. But I think it's definitely starting to grow a little bit.
So last week, did you play any tackle or were you in the whole game?
I played a couple D tackle reps.
Okay.
Some of the pass rush stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I was around.
Where were you practicing that last week?
Last week I was practicing both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that tough at all, balancing the two?
Yeah, a little bit. Kind of gets a little tough. But the coach is really good at helping me out and putting me in good situations. So yeah, I've been able to handle it pretty well, I think.
With Ravante getting hurt, do you expect to play a little more tackle this week?
Yeah, probably. So we'll see what the coaches have, but that's what I'm expecting.
You feel a little more comfortable with it now, having a few games under your belt?
Yeah, definitely. I'm kind of played an option team once already, so that kind of helps as well.
Yeah.
And so in New Mexico, and so I think that'll help me.
Yep. I mean, you guys played the option pretty good last year, and obviously you played well against New Mexico this year. Does that help confidence-wise when you have to prepare for that defense this week?
Yeah, it does, but at the same time, we just know we got to come out and play football. The Air Force is a tough team. They're not just gonna come out because we beat New Mexico and handled their option well. They're gonna come out and do what they do, and we just gotta be able to stop it. So, but it definitely does help from a confidence perspective. Yeah.
I know even though they're both options, they're pretty different attacks, aren't they? To defend?
Yeah, they're pretty different. Air Force, I mean, they go out a lot of under center type look. New Mexico's a lot of gun, so it's different in their own ways. They all have their own little kinks and quirks and stuff like that. So we just gotta coaches have a game plan for us, so we just gotta follow it.
I know last year you guys didn't play against Worthman, the guy they got at quarterback now, just from tape and stuff. Have you noticed what he kind of brings to that position for them?
Oh yeah, he's a mobile guy. Obviously running an option like that, but he can make plays either way. Either stretching out the option or just getting downhill fast. So he's a guy we definitely got to account for. So it'll be a challenge.
When you look back to last year's Air Force game, I know you had the tackle on the 2-point conversion played. Is that kind of a pretty memorable game for you?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that was pretty exciting. Coming from the Springs and everything like that, and having friends from home text me after the game and stuff like that. So that was definitely one of my favorite plays.
Yeah, I know. Like you mentioned, there's a few guys on the team from the Springs. Have you guys talked much about just being excited to go back there?
Yeah, kind of a little bit. Me and Austin, our Lopez, our lockers are right next to each other, and so we kind of just talk and joke about it and stuff like that. And we're excited. We're proud to be from the Springs, but definitely excited to do better.
So it's you, Austin. I know Dalton's from Colorado Springs. Is there anybody else?
Matt Liss is from the Springs. That might be it. Nothing I can think of.
Did you play any of those guys in high school, or
I played Matt and Dalton a lot.
Okay.
They went to Pine Creek. I went to Falcon.
Gotcha.
So we play them every year.
Did you? Which teams won the most of those? Do you remember?
Yeah, that's still tough. We lost every year.
Yeah.
They're close games, and that was my last high school game was against Dalton's team. They weren't there. Him or Matt.
Right.
But my last game was against their high school, so they beat us in the semifinals. It was rough.
Gotcha. Did they ever give you any trouble about that when you came
here? Yeah, all the time. So it's fun.
Yeah. Do you know anybody on Air Force?
No, I actually do. I know one of their, I believe he plays offensive line. His name's Scott Haddock.
Okay.
My old teammate from high school actually graduated last year, so we played each other last year. But
okay, gotcha.
He's graduated since. So
what was his name?
Brody Hicks.
Okay.
Safety. Yeah, I think Scott's the only one I know right now.
Okay, gotcha. Do you know if he's starting or if he'll go up against him at all? Or?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. We'll see. I might shoot him a text later.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember. you say that they recruited you a little bit at Air Force, is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah, they did. They recruited me pretty much my whole senior year. So, yep.
I know, they're, even though they're pretty close, it's not necessarily like you guys butt heads with them in terms of recruiting a lot, just because their thing is so much different. When they recruited you, I guess, is it so much different considering whether or not you want to play at Air Force because it's such a different college, process than going to kind of a standard school?
Yeah, definitely. I think when you sign up to go to the Air Force, you sign up for a lot more than just, school and football.
Yeah.
You sign up to like a lifestyle, which is a military lifestyle. That was probably the biggest, difference from being recruited by them and being recruited by other schools. Going to them wasn't a 4 or 5 year commitment; it was 10 years.
Yeah.
Of your life that you were committing, and so that was probably the biggest difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you give much consideration to going there, or was that not really something you wanted to go into?
Yeah, I did. Eventually, it just came down between here and there.
Okay.
But they were kind of like my final 2 schools, and so I just ended up choosing here.
Yeah. Yep. When you're living in the Springs, is there kind of a big presence? Are they a big presence down there? I guess the Air Force and the teams and stuff.
Oh, the Air Force is huge down there. We may have, including the academy. There's 3 or 4 bases down there.
Right.
Air Force and Army as well. And so, yeah, the Air Force is huge down there. My grandpa was in the Air Force. My uncle is a contractor.
Mm-hmm.
My grandpa actually taught at the academy for a little while. So, yeah, their presence is huge.
Are the teams pretty big? Is it like a big sports town, or is it more just kind of the actual military aspect of it?
I think it's more the military aspect of it. So, yeah.
So did you root for them growing up or anything like that? Or?
I didn't necessarily root for them. I would go to games.
Yeah.
And kind of, we would have fun and stuff like that. But I don't think I would consider myself an Air Force fan growing up.
Yeah. Did you ever watch any Wyoming games down there?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Not that I can remember.
I know. I think before your time, but there was kind of the the scuffle after the game one year here. Is that something you guys kind of know much about? Just that kind of bitter history a little bit between these teams?
I actually heard about that a little bit when I was getting recruited by them.
Yeah.
They kind of knew that Wyoming was in the mix, and so that was brought up a couple of times. I didn't know too much about it. I've kind of just heard bits and pieces since. So, yeah.
So they try to use that to get you to not go to Wyoming then?
Yeah, it was kind of weird. Like they're kind of using it against me. I was like, yeah, it was kind of odd. Yeah, it was weird.
Okay. Yeah.